everyone, thank you so much for joining us for Digging Deep, an OK Woman podcast. I'm MG Govia, Senior Education Outreach Liaison and one of your hosts, and I'm joined with Luis Rendon, the most famous new guy ever. Hey, Luis, how's things going?
What's up, man? All good. Glad to be back here doing our podcast. We kind of took a little break.
Well, these guys busy.
Yeah.
And so we had to push back our recording just a couple of days, but we're back on track.
Yeah. So awesome. Couple of great days. Just at work with the fam, catching up, learning more, finding different methods to do my presentations, which is also pretty cool.
Yeah.
Get to travel too. So just excited to building stuff here and going at it every day.
Yeah, you've been doing great. I know pretty much all we do is brag on you on this podcast,
I feel...
but you're doing great. The love is there. We've watched you grow and all the things you're taking in. I've really enjoyed watching how you've learned how your different presentation styles, going from a lot of elaboration to more of a streamlined bullet points.
Yeah, more organized.
Yeah, and so your confidence level is grown.
Yeah, it definitely helps. Just using those tips of, we kind of rehearsed. Last time we went to Ada, we rehearsed a couple of days, and we kind of find a method of saying things easier for me, not to go to that extra mile yet until, I'm more comfortable. So that helps a lot. Just getting to know your material in an easier way first than, jumping into all these different ways to say it.
Yeah, and then there's times where, and we've talked about this, we're going to have those, full-on workshops. We're doing the whole A11 certification, and we need to tell them everything there possibly is to know about. But then we may have time frames where we can only give 30 minutes or 45 minutes, and we have to figure out what's important and how we're going to share that information. And then we have a meeting in Prague coming up soon.
Yeah, that's a different style.
That's going to be no slides, no clicker, just conversational.
Yeah,
sharing.
So it is interesting that, when I first came and we talked about, hey, this is what you're going to do. We focus on trainings, but then as I was, hanging out with you on all these trips and stuff, it's like there's different ways of we do education. There's like small presentation, big presentation, improvised presentation.
Right, exactly.
So I'm getting to learn that aspect as well and kind of find, okay, this is my material when it's a full presentation. This is when it's like on the go. Like, for example, this week where we're doing that, different groups for 15 minutes. Like, okay, you don't need to say everything. It has to be fast, but it has to be just the main points.
Important and relevant.
Yeah.
That's what we want to stress.
So it's really good from what I'm looking for as skills. I just learning different ways of how to I want to communicate the message of OK Woman.
Well, I know this is probably closer to the end of the year, but the goal is to where instead of worrying about the different types of presentations we're going to give, it's just eventually you're just going to be a walking ambassador like I am.
Yeah.
And it's not, well, I need this presentation or this presentation. But like, you ask me questions, I'll take care of it.
That level is master level.
But you're getting there. You're getting there already. Like, we can see it even in these podcasts and other places where I can just ask you questions and you know what you're talking about. So things are coming along nice. And soon you'll be on your own doing some really cool things.
I'm going to be flying.
Exactly. So this week was big, though. We had a lot going on. It started off, obviously, the Thunder won the championship.
Yes.
We're finally champions. Just like we predicted it all along. We knew it was going to happen.
I predicted the Knicks against him, but the same result was going to be for the OKC Thunder. They were going to be the NBA champs.
As they should be. I had some curiosities about Pacers. They turned out to be a pretty decent team. But, hey, we got them in 7, and I'm glad that we did. I got to go to the parade.
That's good. How was it?
Oh, man, it was insane. I was expecting a big turnout, but the amount of people that were down there and then the fact that players jumped off the bus and was walking most of the parade route and tons of close pictures. It was just insane. I've never been a part of anything like that before. That was the biggest group setting I've ever been in my life. Like, I don't even know what the final number was.
Well, and, give it a time. If Oklahoma wins another one or two more, the city might know what to do different this time. I mean, they might do it even bigger. I mean, it's just, I think everybody was, I don't know how logistic works when it comes to like kind of closing the perimeter
You're right.
of a city.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, and having security because it takes a lot, and it was just within 24 hours.
I mean, obviously they had some pre-planning. The buses were already painted before the game was played. So
that has to suck if they have to take it all down.
Darn it.
Yeah,
but I mean, there was some pre-win planning, obviously, but. Props to Oklahoma City. The mayor had a great speech. It was just a great event all the way around.
And it's good for the city. I keep, Brian, who also works as a security for the Thunder games. Yeah. Just having the Thunder winning, it puts them in the international map.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people covered the NBA Finals from people from Argentina, Spain, Germany, Chile, Mexico, you name it.
Yeah.
And that just makes the city, more famous, I guess.
Yeah, more famous, more visible.
Visible,
yeah. And then we have the international players that also gets that international attention between Hartenstein and Lou Dortz, and obviously SGA is Canadian, so there's still that international flair to it as well.
And I think it opens the doors because, to be honest, MG, it just, let's say, for the diverse part of it, it will make the city more diverse. Just because that will open up, for example, and I think they already have like broadcasting in Spanish.
Yeah,
that also helps us because we're trying to do something in Spanish, and it just kind of makes the city grow more in diversity.
Yeah, exactly.
Having a team that is being in the eyes of everybody.
Exactly. Yeah,
but cool that you got to go. Yeah,
it was exciting. I'm really looking forward to what this. New chapter of Oklahoma City looks like. Again, I'm a huge fan of our mayor. We wrote a couple of good posts over the weekend about the parade and what it means and the championship.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So it was really cool stuff. So if you haven't seen that stuff, I highly recommend it as well. And since I know we don't have thousands and thousands of listeners, I am going to tell there is a small chance that I might be in an ESPN documentary about the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Hey!
So if the documentary comes out, so they were filming on it, and Mayor Holt was presenting at I forgot which organization I was at. I want to say the American Subcontractors, but the Subcontractors organization, and Mayor Holt was speaking. And he had an ESPN crew with him, and we're like, what's going on? We're talking about digging and construction and the new arena and all this other stuff. And then all of a sudden, ESPN's like, hey, does anybody want to talk about the Thunder? And I'm like, I know a little bit about them. And so they interviewed me. We talked about it. And that was back in like November. So it was a long time ago.
Okay.
But it was about the season. It was right after we passed to get the new arena built and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
It was
30 for 30 type of thing?
Yeah. And so they were following the Thunder around. Obviously, they were optimistic that they might win the championship.
Hey,
in the new arena.
It could be a really nice, I wouldn't say Cinderella, but just the whole history of how the Thunder went from being in Seattle, then moving here, then having a good few years, and they struggled for another couple years, and then how Sam Presti was able to build everything from scratch to what is now.
Exactly. I think it would be really cool. So
5 seconds of fame.
Yeah, maybe. Not even. The bad thing is, I know I was interviewed. I don't know if hopefully I said something worth making the documentary, but hopefully it's there. So it would be pretty cool. So that was my week. As far as the fun stuff, and then we had work.
And then work.
And then we had some work to do. We went up to Stillwater for the ORWA, which is the Oklahoma Rural Water Association. They had an equipment expo, and I've attended a few in the past. Obviously, this was your first. So, what was your first take on what you saw there?
Just knowing a different aspect of what we do. Different organizations that they, especially when it comes to water and how those rural areas work with when it comes to water. I was amazed some of the equipments that they use and just meeting people in general. Getting those connections like we always talk about, understanding what is it that they do, and having them understanding what we do for them in a way, right? Because they also kind of need to know the whole legal aspect of contacting all people one.
The whole damage.
Yeah. So it is like a whole, I want to say, like they say in my country, like we need to work together, but not mixed.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a good partnership.
Yeah.
And that's what we strive for. ORWA has been great with us in years past. We do a lot of similar training. Just like we give those DEQ credits, Department of Environmental Credit or Quality credits when at our safety day events and stuff like that. Well, DEQ credits go to municipalities and rural water systems that work on water. So we have a lot of the same audience because of those DEQ credits. But obviously we're sharing two different aspects of what we do. Like we're going to talk about the damage prevention side of things while they're showing us equipment on how to dig and things that I will never be able to operate, right? Because I told you the story. They had an equipment rodeo going on and they had one excavator where they had the bucket and they put a ladle at the end of the bucket and you had to pick up the ball and drop it into a cup. I tried that a couple years ago and I just flung that ball across the whole
I thought about it for a second, but then we were caught up with the hydrovacs machine, which I was like really amazed how they actually make them. They make those machines in Oklahoma.
Yeah,
forgot the city.
Yeah, no, that was Ditch Witch, and they're made in Perry.
Perry,
yeah. Well, in Perry is. I don't know if a suburb of Cushing is the right wording, but it's between like Stillwater,
Cushing Oklahoma area. Map. I'm learning all with you and traveling because I only know a few cities. Now I know a few towns.
Yeah, and that machine by Ditch Witch, it was impressive. I did get to see quite a bit of that. I'm looking forward to working with quite a few of the connections we made during that. We've worked with Ditch Witch in the past, and they have sub-site locating equipment and stuff like that. And then the connections that we made with ORWA, and then my friend Hunter over at OMAG, the Oklahoma Municipal Assurance Group, looking for ways to collaborate on training there. And then our boy, Walter with Nichols Hills, he was up at the Expo, and he had an opportunity to talk with us. And Walter, if you're listening, you may be seeing yourself on some social media here in the next few days. So thanks for.
Is he active on social media?
I hope so. I'm going to track him down. I really appreciate him taking the time to talk to us and letting us know how things are for Nichols Hills and them. He was one of my first. When I came into this role, I got this phone call, and it was Walter. He's like, "Hey, I'm the new locator in Nichols Hills. What do I do?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Let's find out together," because I was brand new at the time. So he and I grew together, and he's just a great partner in the damage prevention world. And
that's awesome.
The way that Nichols Hills and Oklahoma City worked together, it was really cool. I learned a lot during that meeting. Things have been it's just been a crazy week for sure. Next, we have the event up in Prague.
Looking forward to it. Thursday, first thing in the morning, another morning trip.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of same-day trips, but they're easier when you're driving. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, those kind of trips that were those kind of like presentations or events that we're doing. They're short.
Yeah, they're not as taxing.
Yeah. I mean, the other ones are more preparing, more logistics because we're hosting. But it's not that long of a day. I think we should be back here maybe by 3:30 or something.
Yeah, if that. It'll be mid-afternoon.
So that'll be good. And then we get...
And they're feeding us.
Oh, that's awesome. And then, that's even
really
better.
Excited.
I want to go. And then we get a long weekend.
Yeah.
4th of July.
You and I are both selfish.
Both off
Monday after.
See ya.
July 4th through the 7th, we'll be off. So if you have any educational emergencies, Haley got you.
Hey, well deserved. Well deserved. We 90 days, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
boom,
you got your 90 days. Yeah. This is going to be your first PTO usage.
Yeah. I was asking Haley, can I take one day? And then, taking advantage that it was a long weekend, I was like, just one so I can, don't worry about that. Just to make it just a little stretch of vacation.
Yeah, I've had some life changes. My mother's moving in with me. I'm excited about it. We're going to help each other out. But it was a decision that was pretty quick. But so I'm going to use that 4-day weekend to set up the house, get her settled in.
Yeah, I know. It makes sense. Yeah. And even our director encouraged us to take some guys off, too.
Hey, it was in today's email.
Yeah, I was like, hey, if she says it, I'm going to take that serious.
Yeah, it's easy to hear when she comes back from her cruise to be like, y'all should take some time off too. We're like, thanks, Susan.
Oh, no, that was awesome to hear. No, I'm excited for this week. I think things are going also pretty fast.
Yeah.
Like I still remember when we were planning the schedule and we're looking at all these trips, traveling, and now we're like down to that one today, then a bunch of webinars, and then August, and then just preparing next year.
Yeah. Which you brought up something really important. I do want to promote our virtual safety day. So every summer we travel around. You figured this out. We're going to all of these different cities, and we decided that I want to say like 2 years ago we started this. And July is just a freaking hot month, right? Yeah. And we already have July 4th, and we already have people moving around and doing all this stuff. So we wanted to make a safety day even more accessible and throw it online. So what we did is we started doing 4 webinars on one day. So at 9 a.m. on July 16th, we're going to have James Cross with Energy WorldNet provide a presentation over safety culture and how we can do that. At 11 o'clock, we're going to have the Oklahoma Corporation Commission speak on the damage prevention efforts that they do. Then at 1 o'clock will be Confined Spaces by Jason Bullard, who is our safety training partner with Anderson Safety. They'll go over the Confined Spaces information. And then the big one, we are going to have a 2-hour block to do an 811 workshop. So for all those who have missed our safety days or our expo and do not want to do 811 certification exclusively online, although you will be online, it will be a webinar. It won't be the slides that you're just clicking through on our LMS. So this will give you an opportunity to learn from us and with us. And then as you take your test, we'll even be available for questions or anything else. So really cool day, a lot of opportunities for you. Each session, there will be prizes available for those who are attending. And that information should be out to you. You'll already have the information to you before this is posted. You'll see it in your emails, our website and stuff. So be sure to join us for that. That's July 16th.
Yeah, no, and our session will be kind of conversational. So kind of how we want to plan it, maybe make it more engaging.
Exactly. We're going to talk all things 811 in almost like a live podcast. It is what it's going to feel like. We'll start with each of the steps and pre-planning to all the way to project closeout. So it'll hopefully be really easy for those that are attending to digest. It'll give us both an opportunity to have some content recorded as well. So I'm looking forward to it. It's a new idea. We haven't done an 811 workshop online like that, other than some like very small dedicated trainings. I would love to see 50 plus join us for that.
I hope so. But no, I mean, I'm excited. That week is my kiddo's birthday. Yeah. A day before. Yeah, because ours is the 16th, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's be a nice week for me too as well.
That is awesome, man. Congratulations.
Yeah.
So when is your 90th day officially?
It's Wednesday.
Which is
I get
July 3rd.
The last verdict.
No, that's July 2nd.
What's my sentence?
Yeah,
it went fast. It went pretty fast.
Yeah, I feel like it was cold when you got hired. I don't know if that's true. I feel like it was a long time ago.
But it went pretty fast. I go back and I'm like, wow, I got hired the April 2nd, and now you last second.
Yeah.
That's it.
That is wild.
Yeah.
One thing I do want to point out, I don't know if our audience is paying attention, but we didn't have a mug for another company this week.
No, nobody has really reached out yet, right?
Yeah, like we have had a couple of emails. They're going to be shipping stuff to us, so we should be getting something soon. But I didn't have a new cup this week, and I just want to remind everybody that if you want your mug on our podcast, just let us know. Shoot us an email at education@ok811.org. Excuse me, let me say that email address again. education@ok811.org. We'll get your mug, or give you information to send us your mug, or maybe even look for having you as a guest on our podcast. So please reach out to us. You ready?
Yeah.
Do you know what's next?
Commercials.
All right, ready? Roll.
Before you break ground, know what's underground. Whether you're new to the industry or just need a refresher, Oki 811 certification training has you covered. Get trained online at your own pace or join us in person for hands-on learning that makes a difference. From safe digging laws to real-world locate scenarios, our courses help protect lives, property, and the infrastructure that keeps Oklahoma moving. Designed for excavators, contractors, and utility pros like you. Sign up today at okie811.org/training. Safe digging starts here.
So, Louise, we're coming up on your 90th day. Congratulations. Yeah, right? And so, as a liaison, we've had to learn everything. We started with the basics, like how long Okie 811's been around. And we've talked about the tolerance zone. We've talked about markings and all the colors and emergencies and ticket types and I don't know, everything. Hydrovacing just last week. I mean, we've been throwing everything at you. So the final quiz is talking about putting in a locate request, right? Because this is the final step. We taught everybody what to do. So let's pretend that you have to put in a locate request. What job do you want to do at your house? Let's do a job at your house. Do we want to put in a pool? Do we want to
let's the easiest one. Let's set up a tree.
Planting
on
a tree.
The front. Planting a tree on the front of the house.
Nice. What kind of tree do you know?
I don't know.
I don't know my trees, so you could lie to me right now.
Yeah.
Wood one?
I have no idea.
Okay.
They're not cheap though. At least 150.
Okay, so we're gonna get a tree. We want to do it right. So if we're gonna spend 150 bucks on a tree, we are not gonna blow up the neighborhood by not calling it 911, right? Yeah. So we're gonna put in a locate request. We're gonna put in that tree. Do you have an idea of where you want that tree to go?
Where exactly? In the front.
Okay. So how do you want to put in that locate request? We're going to throw down maybe a white painted flag for where you think the tree is going to go?
Yeah.
Or do you want them to locate the whole yard?
If following all the industry's best practice.
Ooh.
Yeah, getting fancy.
These words.
We'll do the pre-marking with white lining. I will either like spray it or put a flag, and I will probably do the 1 point.
Exactly. Point reference.
Point reference, yeah.
And then do a radius from it.
Radius from it, yeah. And then tell the. I guess on the ticket information, right? How many feet from that point?
Exactly. So what you would be doing, you let the agent, or if you're doing it online, let us know that you're doing white lining.
The directions, right?
Yeah. There's a checkbox for white lining. We'll mark that, and then in your instructions, we'll put something along the lines of placed white paint and flag in front yard, locate a 10-foot radius.
Yeah.
And so when the locators come out, they'll see that white paint and flags, go 10 feet in all directions, mark and get out of there, right?
Yep.
And that's great. If you're confident that's where you want that tree, for a front yard in a residential area, a full front yard locate isn't the worst thing in the world.
Okay.
I mean, if you lived on a full 10 acres or something, yeah. But for somebody who's like, I think I want the tree there, but what if that's right over a water line or right over an electric line? 10 feet may not give you enough wiggle room. So if you did want to do a full front yard locate on a tree, that's understandable. Okay. But if you can limit it, that's always the goal. If I know for a fact my tree's going there, tell us it's going there. So you went out, you pre-marked with that white paint and flags. Are you going to call in your locate request, or are you going to go online?
Okay, I have a question. Okay. What if it's not me, it's the excavator that's doing it for me? Right? Private lines, right?
No, not private lines, but you're on the right track. Here's the thing. If you're doing the work, if you're the one with the shovel, you're the one putting in a locate request.
Yeah, but
if somebody else is putting in that tree for you, if you're hiring it out, they need to be putting in the locate request. Okay. And I will go down this rabbit hole with you because you did bring up private lines. So whichever one of you is doing the digging, so if you're the one planting the tree, you have to find and protect your own private lines.
Yeah.
If you hired Bob to come and plant that tree, Bob is now responsible for protecting and avoiding damage to your private lines, because Bob's the one with the shovel.
Yeah, and he needs to discuss that with me if it's going to cost more to repair it or to actually hire somebody private.
Right. Okay. If you're talking to Bob and Bob's like, nah, you have to tell me where your sprinkler system is and where your French drain is and where your propane lines are and all that sort of stuff. If you can't help him and he's like, well, I'm just going to destroy it, I'd be like, well, then I'm not hiring you. Right? I'd go get John, because Bob is dangerous, right? So
Bob that's dangerous.
Yeah, Bob got too
dangerous.
Bob
the destructor, not the constructor.
Bob's just popping sprinkler heads left and right? So we don't want to go with Bob. But if you do have a conversation with Bob and he's like, oh yeah, if I do pop a sprinkler head, I'll repair it, or if I do hit something, I'll fix it. Then cool, like as long as you have that understanding. But if Bob was just willing to damage anything that's your responsibility, I would go with somebody else. Okay. So great question. To protect those private lines, again, whoever's the one whoever has a shovel,
is in control. Yeah.
And so we're going to assume that you're planting the tree.
Okay.
We're not hiring Bob or John.
Just me and myself. It's supposed to be an easy job.
Just you and the kids, right?
Okay.
And so,
forever. I might have to request an extension.
So that's awesome because I can still picture him.
Daddy, I'm not done yet. I can't see the line.
There's one dude with a little Tonka truck. Okay. So anyway, we're putting a locate
my babies are eating the dirt. I have to be careful with the two of them.
Okay. So we're going to put in a locate request. How's that sound?
Yeah.
All right. That was awesome. So we're putting it in. Let's talk pros and cons. If we call on a locate request, tell me how that process goes.
When I talk to an agent, right?
Yeah, you'll be talking to an agent.
Let's say I'm talking to Lisa, right?
Yeah, one of our agents that work here in the office. You call on Lisa's like, who is this?
It's Liz, your coworker. She's 100 feet from your cubicle. So I'll call Lisa, right? Let's say Lisa's the agent that's taking my call. I'll give her my information, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the name of the company. The name of the person who's calling.
Yeah, which is in this case the homeowner.
Yeah, the name of the person who's doing the job. The person who's doing that. It's me. I'm doing the job. I'm doing the job for myself.
I'm the one calling it in.
I'm not calling it in. Yeah. The type of work that is I'm using white lining, explosives.
You're using explosive for this?
No, I'm not using explosive, but I have to give that information. Either it's explosive, grading.
Any access issues?
Yeah, give me if I have any access issues. What if it's like a locked residency?
Yeah.
Gate residency where you need a code to get in or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if I have any dogs that can come out of the backyard or out of the house because it goes crazy, whatever. What are the fourth ones? I kind of forgot the one that I couldn't help you.
No, you're good. I got them now. Watch this. We're going to ask for directional boring, explosive, white lining, and access issues.
Oh, access issues. Why did I say grading? I don't know.
You were thinking of different excavation types.
Yeah.
So when we do ask about work type, a lot of the questions, like planting a tree, we know you're digging.
Yeah.
Right? But if you gave us another type of work type, we may ask, hey, are you going to be grading dirt?
Okay, so I'm confused. Yeah.
Yeah, are you going to be trenching? Are you going to be, just to get an idea to help the locators out.
I got it mixed up. So I'll give that information. How long is it going to take?
Yeah. How long will it take you? 1 day, 2 days?
I'll be 1 day with it.
Okay.
But maybe I'm kind of like, I'm not very good of a handyman, so it might take me more than a week. Well, let's say, a week.
Yeah, which is still within the 14 calendar day.
Yeah, so
you're good.
I have to give her the day of the start date of when I'm planning to dig and when I'm finishing. And am I missing any other information I need to give?
No, you did great, actually. Contact info, location, which would be your home address.
Yeah, the location, yeah.
Those 4 questions that we talked about to have access to that locator. And then, of course, the project itself. So, and then depending on if you decide you need the full yard just to figure it out, or if you wanted to go from a point, determines if you're white lining or not. So you did great on the telephone. You know what's crazy, though? We just, role played that phone call. And that was probably at least 3 to 5 minutes of us talking about it. Since we already know what we're doing, we can go online.
Let's just put
to the website and be like,
homeowner, right?
Louise, white lining, tree, done. And it would take you less than 2 minutes.
Wow.
And Lisa loves the phone calls. I promise she does, just like all of our agents they're there to help you out. But if you already know the information that you need to provide, it's going to be so much faster for you to do so online. Over close to... Here, let's go with over 75% of our locate requests are actually submitted online. Okay. So it's just a lot of information, and nothing is more safe than the excavator actually being online and being able to show us exactly where they're digging, because they should know their address better than anybody else. Yeah. Lisa's not literally playing the telephone game with somebody going, how many feet from what, right? We have to kind of guess along with them, while if you're doing online, you know your address. Yeah. That's my house. Circle.
Yeah, there's no way you can miss that.
Yeah. So for our listeners who've been following along on your 90-day journey. We're going to have a graduation ceremony during our next podcast. We'll figure out how that's going to look.
Free pizza.
Haley will be walking in with a diploma. And we're excited. We're excited that you made it this far. Of course, we knew you would. And the rest of this year is going to be fantastic. A lot of things to look forward to.
Yeah, no, excited to also, keep learning.
Yeah.
Keep learning.
And we'll throw in some quizzes every once in a while.
Oh, I like it. I mean, it's kind of part of our podcast now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always good to ask questions because I know a lot of the people that listen to us or are on those presentations, they have those questions too as well.
Exactly. And the cool way for me about podcasts, because even I listen to it every once in a while, is just auditory while you're driving or while you're at work, or just something to just take in. And at professional excavators and others, I mean, you can listen to music all day long, but this might help keep you safe.
30 minutes.
Yeah, give us a shot in your rotation. So I've enjoyed our quizzes. I've enjoyed our podcast, and this is still growing as we go. We're looking forward to various guests and different things as we go as well. So very cool.
And one of the things that we kind of started in the idea of the podcast, maybe soon we can start talking about cases.
Exactly.
I know they're sad and you don't want to talk about them, but like accidents that, I would like to ask you how some of those things can be prevented.
Exactly. We can look at some scenarios that have occurred and maybe even look at better ways, like you said. And I think that's a great idea. And then, of course, we've also brought up this idea about bringing in coworkers and other industry partners and stuff like that. So this is only the beginning, friends. I can't wait to see where this goes.
This is episode 5, right?
I don't know. I lost track. So with that, to our listeners and YouTube watchers, thank you so much for doing everything you do to keep Oklahoma safe. And we can't wait to see you in our next episode. Thank you.